Hello, and welcome to the third and final lecture for the AI and computer algebra system component for differential equations. So today we're going to be talking about uh, how to check responses that you get for their accuracy, sort of how reasonable they are, and whether or not they're actually useful, even given being accurate and or reasonable. And we're going to look at comparing responses across a few different large language models. Okay, so the setup for our sort of problem that we're going to be thinking about this time is what is the purpose of, you know, us in relation to using the large language models? Obviously we give them prompts for questions that we want some sort of information on, but really they're not perfect, so we're going to have to be sort of editors. So we've already talked about how you could prompt engineer to try to get some good information out of them. But even if you do a good job at that, you still might need to sort of sift through what they say to determine whether or not it's relevant. Okay. So how are we going to do that? We're going to come up with a question. We're going to ask it to a few different models, sort of compare and contrast them, check them for, uh, correctness. Did the argument they give, was that right, even if they kind of messed up a little step? And was it useful? Because even if they're correct and the reasoning was good, sometimes it's might not be appropriate for like the situation that you're in. And we'll just see how that goes. So the three models we're going to use are Claude 3 Sonnet, ChatGPT 4o, and Grok. And here's a little description of each of them. Okay, so what we're going to do is here's our question. This differential equation, determine the recurrence relation for the coefficients of the series solution to y double prime plus 2y prime plus 2y equals 1 over 1 plus x. So we're going to be looking for accuracy. Does it actually answer the question correctly? Like, do we get the correct answer at the end? Uh, and does it show its work? Sort of like, does it reason well to get to the answer that it gives us? So it could, reason well and then make sort of like a silly little arithmetic mistake or something, and the answer won't be right, but the reasoning is still fine. And then last of all, is it useful? Does it actually give you information that is like on your level, is relevant to the problem, and does it tell you what it's doing? All right, let's start. So I gave that question to Claude 3, and this is what it gave me. So can take a moment to look over this. I'd suggest pausing and reading it through, sort of trying to assess it for yourself. Here's the same thing, but for ChatGPT 4. Again, you can pause and look it over a little bit to get an estimation of how useful it is and how accurate and how reasonable it is. And last, here's Grok's response. Okay, so now we're going to go through and analyze the responses together. So, how are we going to be able to tell if it did well? Well, uh, for this, we're going to need to basically do the problem ourselves this time at least to see, you know, is it does it get it correct? Is the reasoning, similar to ours, or maybe you know, even more streamlined? Uh, and sort of like does it do it in a way that we can understand? So, like it says over here in the sidebar, the LLMs are really more for assistance, or like a quick, reality check. Like you do the problem and you're like, I think I did that right, but maybe I just want a second opinion. No one else is around who knows how to do it. You throw it into an LLM. If it gets the same thing, that's pretty encouraging. Uh, that's sort of the assistance or reinforcement. Uh, So if you don't know how to do the problem yourself, like at all, then it's a little bit risky just trusting an AI to do it for you. And as you've no doubt seen throughout the semester, they're a little hit and miss. Okay, so here's my steps on how I would solve this problem. Uh, so you can take a moment to look that over, or you can try to do the problem yourself and see if you come up with something similar. But now that we've done the problem ourselves, now we're going to go into the AI's responses and see how they stack up. Okay, so now we're going to go through and sort of edit or critique Claude's answers. So uh, right up at the top here, it says that it's going to use method of undetermined coefficients, which is a way to solve this differential equation. But we're looking for stuff about a series solution, so uh, that's not exactly on the path that we traditionally take. So down here in step one, it's going about trying to solve it using the undetermined coefficients. So it says we're going to find the homogeneous solution, and it uses method of characteristics here. But when it's solving for the roots of the characteristic equation, it comes up with -1 being a double root, which is not the case. You actually use like quadratic formula on that characteristic equation with the m's there, they actually end up both being complex numbers. So not definitely not -1. And then the step it takes right after that is uh, also not correct, even given it's not correct from the equation, and it's not correct from saying that m is a double root of -1. So neither one of those is quite right. So the next line here says, now we got to find the non-homogeneous part, the particular solution. That is correct. So they Claude starts off by just we may assume that the solution is ax plus b. Uh, we have I have no idea why, and in fact that is not true. If you look at that, the ax plus b is never going to be a solution to this. Uh, and when it tries to find them here, that's just not going to work out. And then down here, way at the bottom, after you skip through all of it trying to solve that, uh, we get some stuff that is actually relevant to the question we asked. So, assuming there is a series solution, it'll look like this, which is true. And then it says we can substitute it in and basically set both sides equal to each other to figure out what the recurrence relation is. All of that is true, but then it doesn't actually do that. So it sort of gave us one little bit that was useful here. It tells us how you would go about solving the problem we asked it to, even though it solved a completely different problem and didn't actually really do that very well. So not stellar with Claude here. So I'd say accuracy, F, it did not even close to do what we wanted. Reasoning, also pretty abysmal. At least on this particular example, it was like almost every step did not quite follow from the previous one. But usefulness, I'll give it a D. It didn't utterly fail us. It did at least tell us how you would go about solving the problem in principle, although it didn't really do any of the work for us. So, on to ChatGPT. So, what do we have here? So, it goes ahead and computes the first two derivatives of our, supposed series solution and sort of re-indexes them so that we're starting at n equals 0 for both of them. That's nice. Uh, then if we go over here, it recognizes that that 1 over 1 plus x is the Taylor series for, well, we can write it as a Taylor series so that uh, we can have everything be all a bunch of series. Uh, then it says we set these two equal to each other and we can move everything over to one side. The series are equal only if the coefficients are equal. So that's correct. And then it goes through some algebra and solves it, and that looks like the correct answer. So overall, was pretty good. Maybe a little bit sparse on details, a little bit of stuff could have been, justified slightly better, but if one of you handed this in on a quiz, I think you'd probably get full points for that. So Uh, we've got accuracy. It was an A, gets the right answer. Reasoning, I'm gonna knock it down to just a B plus, just because it didn't give us quite 100% of the reasoning, but yeah, everything flowed correctly. And usefulness, I'd say if are just a little bit shaky on how to do this, and you looked at this, then it would probably be useful for reinforcing what you have already learned. Okay, so on to Grok, our third and final LLM for this problem. So uh, it sets it up correctly. It takes our derivatives and it says, for convenience, we're going to shift it. So that's kind of nice little bit of explanation that ChatGPT didn't have. It tells you, why all of a sudden the ends are starting at zero. Uh, And then it says, so it also recognizes that that 1 over 1 plus x can be turned into a Taylor series. And it, says this down at the note in the bottom. So note that. So that's pretty good. Uh, then moving over here, so it says we have to match the coefficients, and then it solves it. So that's all correct. And then down here, it also reminds you that this recurrence relation, holds, but it's really only useful for if you already know the first two terms, so the A0 and A1, that would come from an initial condition or something like that. I don't know why it reminded us twice, but that's okay. And this problem didn't have initial conditions, so we don't have to worry about it anyway. So overall, I'd say this one, again, accuracy and usefulness, both A's. It did everything we needed it to do. I'd say maybe the reasoning is just a hair worse than ChatGPT's, just because it skips sort of two things that are nice to tell us, which is one, that 1 over 1 plus x series is the Taylor expansion. That's not such a big deal. But it also did not mention anything about like why we can get rid of the sum and just deal with the coefficients, whereas ChatGPT did explain that. So, that one did quite well as well. Okay, so if we compare it, uh, then this is sort of what we might come up with. So all the models had, a little bit of improvement that could have been made. So Claude got very confused and answered a different but related question, and then sort of told us, a bumper sticker version of how you would actually solve the problem we wanted it to do. And then ChatGPT and Grok both did quite well. They just could have used like a little more detail, just to explain it to us a little better. But if you sort of follow the steps, then you might be able to figure that out. So, sort of in summary, we've seen that none of the models was really perfect, but they sort of are can have their own pros and cons. Uh, you can rank them sort of based on different criteria that you're looking for. They're not really replacements for a problem solving, but they're more to like double check or to get if you know the steps but you don't really remember why, it might be able to give you a useful explanation that will help sort of crystallize it. Uh, and then, hopefully when I paused earlier, you read through the responses and thought about yourself. So, you could ask yourself, how would you rank these? Which would you prefer? And how would you get the model to fix its own mistakes? So I think that's mostly for Claude, probably. The other two didn't really make mistakes per se, just maybe spared a little detail. Okay, so now it's up to you. You should practice being an editor for these LLMs the way that we did here. So you can do this sort of on your own. Just ask some questions to your favorite LLMs like ChatGPT, Claude, or Grok, or any of the numerous others that are around now. solve the problem on your own, then sort of compare and contrast you with your LLMs and decide, how useful they were. And when you're ready, there's assignment three, which will have you do exactly that.